everyone. Hey, congratulations on your new film, Forelock.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
This film is so silly on so many levels that, you have to laugh at, all the interactions, all the jokes from start to finish. So it is a wonderful film.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So Caleb, let me throw it out to you first. Is where the original idea came from? Was this a Hollywood experience?
Yeah, more or less, yes. I moved to LA about 13 years ago to be a writer and a filmmaker. And like many people, I had to find a way to earn money on the side. And the advice I kept getting was go stand on Hollywood Boulevard. And what did people mean? They meant to dress
What
up
did they mean?
and exploit my likeness as Superman and pose and take pictures with tourists. Well, I didn't do that at the time. I did a lot of other things, and I continued writing. And some things went well on the writing front, other things didn't. But I kind of knew that there was a personal story that I had in mind, and something from my own experience that I hadn't really addressed in my writing. And so I did finally go on Hollywood Boulevard, actually, and wore spandex, dressed like a
Did you
superhero
really?
to research
You never
this.
told me
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Oh my
to
gosh.
research this role, and people thought that I was actually Henry Cavill in the flesh, which is absurd because why would he be on Hollywood Boulevard? But there's
You just
video
have some
evidence of
time to
this.
kill, gonna go hang out on
Yeah, I
Hollywood
don't know.
Boulevard.
Yeah, so I went and I researched this story, and I wanted to know what it was like for these Hollywood Boulevard impersonators, and that kind of spiraled out into this larger story that became about Los Angeles and desperation and the current moment and camaraderie and all the different people you can meet. So yes, it did somewhat come from my personal experience.
And we filmed it on Hollywood Boulevard
Yes.
during the filming of Superman, the most recent Superman film. And so people in the know knew that Superman was being filmed, and they assumed when they walked past our set, when they saw him in costume, that, oh, this must be this new Superman. And they're filming Superman across the street. And then they were like, why is he standing next to a little guy smoking a cigarette with like a jumpsuit on and gloves?
Yeah, there were some people who came up for autographs and I guess they went back home and they brought an action figure for me to sign. And I
Mm.
said, listen, guys, I'm not who you think I am. And they were like, you're actually exactly who you think we are. Whatever that meant. I don't know. But
Mm.
so I signed the action figure and took some pictures.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Wow. Did you sign it in your name though? Not Henry Cavill's name.
I did sign it in my name. Yeah.
Terrific. David, Emily, what initially drew you that you wanted to be part of this project?
Go for it, Emily. You go first.
Well, I got the script, just as another audition. And I immediately loved it because I mean, the story is so funny, but there's so much heart in it too. And even though there is so much humor in it, I think that we can all relate. I think I can relate to this idea, especially living in LA and being in this industry of trying to figure out who you are and how people see you and whether the way people see you is who you actually want to be. And even in my little character, I felt like I saw this delightful, uh, you know, capsule of this woman who um apparently had some dreams, at some point to perform and entertain. And she kind of has been eclipsed by her daughter. And then she has this moment where she gets to express herself. And I love that the way she expresses herself is in this bizarre dancing. I didn't know exactly what the dancing was going to be when I did the audition, but I just loved that, people have so many ideas of what's going to be grounding and give them solace in LA. And there are some people who know a whole lot about crystals, and I'm sure it works for them. And apparently that works for Sandra. And so I loved that there was like this real integrity and this real truth. But it is so bizarre in the way that it's presented. And you kind of go, is this for real? And you don't really know. Um, and even in the little, the little time that I got to show up in the story, I felt like I saw this whole journey of this woman who was like, found this unlikely person to connect to, and she's in an unhappy marriage, and she gets to express herself in this dancing that nobody else ever wants to watch, probably. And that was so fun for me because I'm actually more like that in real life, but I don't really get to play that much. I do a lot of very serious and grounded characters, which I'm grateful for because I think maybe that makes me more grounded. But it was just so much fun to get to jump in, and Caleb was so open to ideas that I had, and it felt like I was really grateful. You never know when you're coming into something and you're a small part, like how much input you're going to have, and how I love I love working on projects where it does feel like everybody's pitching in and sharing ideas, and it feels like a true collaboration. And this really was that. It was such a fulfilling experience for the time that I got to spend there, and I'm just in love with it.
Wonderful, David.
You know, Caleb reached out, got the script, read the script. I couldn't believe how unpredictable the script was. I didn't know where this was headed, but it was a fun ride throughout. It flowed beautifully. I loved all the dialogue. The characters were so rich, especially Randy. I don't get opportunities to play characters like Randy very often or often at all. And you know, it was a chance for me to do something and surprise people, which is always sort of fun to do if I know I can do it. And Caleb had a lot of faith in me to ask me to do it, and was kind enough to let me jump on as executive producer, so I could have some input on what we're doing on the day-to-day basis. And it was just a glorious opportunity that I couldn't pass up. And then when I met Caleb and I saw what a good guy he is, and his vision and how he sort of lived and breathed it, that's all that I needed. There was no part of Caleb that wasn't going to give 1,000%. There wasn't that thing. I've worked with a lot of first-time directors. Some of them are very passionate, and some of them show up and expect everybody to do it for them. And you go, oh, this movie's going to be wonky. And that wasn't the case here. It was clear he was a very hard worker, and I like to work hard. And the I knew it would be a challenge. It was a challenge. This is an independent film, and we shot it in Los Angeles, on the streets of Los Angeles, including Hollywood Boulevard, which is not an easy street to shoot on in the middle of the day, or especially at night. And we persevered together, and it was a wonderful bonding experience for him and I. And I think all of that is palpable and can be seen in the final product. I think you really do believe that this is a genuine friendship, a grounded friendship. And I couldn't have been happier to be part of this, and I'm thrilled with the final product. I think it's hilarious and a romp. And I think, yeah, we do need more films like this. We're ready to laugh as a culture, and so I'm glad I could be part of that.
Well said. Emily, I'm curious, was your dance sequence, was that choreographed or you just winged it?
It started with very set choreography, because I'm not a trained dancer. I love to dance, and I will, throw my hat in the ring any day. And recently injured myself doing that. But I think with anything like that, it's important to know like what the story is that you want to tell with it. And so Caleb connected me with a wonderful choreographer named Cece Stamper, and talked about like the style of dance that he wanted to be. It's shuffle dancing. And so I went on YouTube and, went down a rabbit hole watching all of that. And then we developed a sequence that felt like it expressed what it was that Sandra was trying to express in this moment. And then there were, within that, there was room to improvise. But it was really helpful for me to have some very set moves to know, like, because I imagine she went to class, she learned all of this, and now it's her chance to kind of pull it out and give it a whirl. So yeah, it started with some very set choreography, and then we played with it a little bit, and it was so much fun.
You know what? This film is a lot of fun. We could dissect it in so many different ways, and all of you have such great chemistry in this film. And I can't imagine, Caleb, how long you actually have to wear that outfit, or if there was like 50 different outfits for the
I,
film. But
I think there were 4 or 5 because they were at different stages of filth because the suit gets worn and filthy as it goes on. But that part was miserable, I will say that, because it was a zipper all the way up the back, and I had to be mic'd up, and I was losing my voice the whole time actually during the shoot, which you guys probably don't know. And so I was constantly hydrating, but then I'd have to go to the bathroom. But to go to the bathroom, someone would have to unzip the suit and then redo the wire. So
That was me. He made me unzip the suit.
yeah, he would help me out in that
You have
regard.
to like jump.
We'd get a
He's
step
very tall.
stool and he'd go up and unzip the suit, once every 15 minutes. But I was very happy to take that suit off. I will admit, very happy to take it off.
well, you all are wonderful. Thank you for this conversation for Forelock. Have fun at the Austin Film Festival. Appreciate
Thank
this.
you. Thanks, Gabe.
Thank
Thanks so
you.
much.